Every night, as the city slows down and bodies surrender to the pull of gravity, something refuses to rest. Buried inside your skull is a restless giant, 3 pounds of flesh that hums, pulses, and thinks even when you don't. Your brain never sleeps. For centuries, we believed sleep was the mind's escape, a shutdown, a peaceful nothing. But the truth is far stranger. While you drift away, your brain begins a secret shift, a night operation more complex than anything you do while awake. It repairs, it cleans, it dreams, it files memories, and sometimes it creates entire worlds. It's like a factory that only works when you stop watching. A silent worker that's been at its post since the dawn of humanity. Right now, even as you listen, billions of neurons fire in perfect rhythm, each one sending messages faster than lightning. Some keep your heart beating, others maintain your balance, and some, the mysterious few, record this very moment into memory. You'll forget half of it, but your brain won't. At night, while your body lies still, the real work begins. Your memories from the day are replayed, analyzed, and stored. Emotions are sorted, joy, anger, fear, each filed neatly or buried deep. It's the brain's way of keeping you sane. Without that process, you'd wake up lost, forgetting who you are, or worse, remembering too much. Scientists used to think sleep was rest, but it's really a transformation. The conscious mind fades, and the subconscious, vast, silent, and ancient, takes control. It's like two worlds changing shifts, the day brain and the night brain. One handles logic, the other handles the soul. And the moment your eyes close, that hidden worker begins its night shift. So the next time you fall asleep, remember, you are not switching off. You are stepping aside, letting something deeper take control. The brain never sleeps. It only dreams of rest. When you close your eyes at night, it feels like everything fades. The noise, the motion, the world itself. But inside your skull, something is just getting started. Your body may rest, but your brain begins its night shift. Scientists once believed the sleeping brain was quiet, like a city shutting down after a long day. Then, in the early 20th century, they attached electrodes to the heads of sleeping patients, and what they saw changed everything. The brain wasn't shutting down, it was lighting up. Every flicker, every wave on that paper was proof. The sleeping mind was alive, electric, and working harder than ever. What they found were cycles, patterns of deep rest and vivid activity, repeating through the night, each cycle lasting about 90 minutes, each one taking the mind deeper into its secret work. The first stage, light sleep, the door between waking and dreaming. Here, the brain begins to slow its rhythm, testing silence. It's the moment your thoughts begin to dissolve into fragments. Then comes stage 2. Heart rate drops, temperature falls. The brain locks the body into stillness, a safety feature to keep you from acting out your dreams. But below that calm surface, something ancient stirs. Stage 3, deep sleep. The brain emits slow, powerful waves, delta waves, rolling like distant thunder. This is when healing begins. Muscles repair, the immune system resets, and cells whisper to each other in biochemical language. And finally, the most mysterious stage of all, REM sleep. REM, Rapid eye movement. It's the paradox of sleep. Your body is paralyzed, yet your brain is more active than when you're awake. It's during REM that you dream. Your mind conjures worlds out of thin air, stitching together fragments of memory, emotion, and imagination. You meet people who don't exist. You visit places you've never been. And for a few minutes, you believe it all. Dreams are not nonsense. They're stories written by your subconscious to process what your waking mind cannot. The heartbreak you ignored, the fear you denied, the question you refused to ask, all of it resurfaces here, disguised as fantasy. Dreams are your brain's language, and every night it speaks to you in metaphors. Every night, while you rest, your brain becomes both archivist and artist. It replays your memories, but not as they were, as they felt. It files them, strengthens them, or deletes them. That's why when you learn something new, sleep helps you remember it. It's also why a night of stress feels lighter after you rest. Your brain has edited the pain. But here's the twist. The brain doesn't just revisit your past, it predicts your future. Inside the dream, it simulates possibilities. What could go wrong? What could save you? What might be? Every nightmare, every strange scenario is a test, a rehearsal for life. Your sleeping brain is training you for tomorrow. Every fear faced in a dream is one less fear to face awake. You close your eyes thinking you've escaped the world, but your brain, it keeps building it. Every second of the night, it monitors your heartbeat, your breathing, your balance. It regulates your hormones. It even decides when to wake you up at the perfect point in your cycle so that consciousness feels seamless. You think you're resting, but you are being maintained, reconstructed, protected. By the time morning comes, the body wakes, fresh and unaware of what the mind just did to save it. Because while you slept, the night shift within kept you alive. Every machine produces waste. Engines, factories, even stars. And so does your brain. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every memory you form, leaves behind microscopic debris. Molecules, toxins, chemical scars of consciousness. And if the brain didn't clean itself, you'd drown in your own thoughts. For decades, scientists wondered, how does the brain clean itself? Where does the waste go when there are no lymph nodes inside the skull? The answer would come from a quiet laboratory in Rochester, New York, and it would change everything we knew about sleep. In 2013, neuroscientist Maiken Nedergaard and her team made a shocking discovery. They found that during sleep, the brain's cells actually shrink, opening vast channels between them. Through these channels flows a clear liquid, cerebrospinal fluid, washing through the brain like a gentle tide. They called it the glymphatic system, a hidden plumbing network that activates only when we sleep. It was as if the brain had its own night janitors, invisible, tireless, and working only under the cover of darkness. The glymphatic system carries away the day's waste, beta amyloids, tau proteins, toxins, the very substances that when they build up are linked to Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. When you sleep, it's not just rest, it's detox. At night, the brain becomes a living ocean. Billions of neurons pull apart slightly, allowing waves of fluid to surge between them. Every pulse of your heart pushes that tide deeper, washing away the day's chemical clutter. And here's the strange part. This cleaning process is so energy demanding that it can only happen when the conscious mind shuts down. That's why you can't stay awake forever. Your brain forces you to sleep because if it doesn't clean itself, it begins to rot from the inside. We live in a sleepless age. Artificial light, caffeine, screens, they've tricked the brain into thinking it's still day. But the price is high. Every hour of missed sleep means more waste left behind. And the longer it builds up, the slower your thoughts become. The fog thickens. Your emotions lose balance. Your body forgets how to heal. The brain that never rests begins to poison itself. Hallucinations, paranoia, breakdown. They're not madness, they're symptoms of a brain suffocating in its own chemicals. Your mind needs darkness to survive. Without it, it starts to eat itself alive. Millions of years ago, when the first mammals evolved, their survival depended on more than speed or strength. It depended on memory, learning from fear. But learning creates waste, and waste kills neurons. So evolution built a system, a hidden cleaning ritual, the glymphatic flow, to erase the scars of yesterday, so the mind could wake up ready for today. It's why every creature on Earth, from birds to dolphins, sleeps. Some with half their brain awake, some drifting under the sea. But all surrender to the same truth. The brain must clean, or it dies. Every night, inside every head, a quiet miracle unfolds. You are washed clean, thought by thought, cell by cell. Your memories are polished, your emotions softened, your mind renewed. And by morning, you awaken, refreshed, unaware that inside you a flood has passed and your brain has survived another day. Because when you sleep, you aren't escaping life, you're preserving it.
Every night, without permission, your brain builds a world made of fragments, memories, fears, desires, regrets, stitched together by electricity and imagination. You call it a dream, but to your brain, it's something much more. It's a rehearsal, a test, a secret conversation with itself. When you drift into REM sleep, your body becomes motionless, locked, silent, paralyzed. But inside your head, chaos reigns. Billions of neurons, once calm, now burst into wild, coordinated storms. Your visual cortex paints images. Your limbic system stirs emotions. Your prefrontal cortex, the seat of logic, shuts off. The result? Pure, unfiltered creation. You see what cannot be seen. You fly, you fall, you relive, you regret. And you believe it all because your mind cannot tell the difference between dream and reality. In your dreams, there are no rules. The laws of physics collapse. Time folds. People long gone return to life. Every dream is a performance, and you are every actor in the play. Your brain writes the script, designs the set, plays every character, and somehow convinces you that it's all real. It's a masterpiece of self-deception, and yet it serves a purpose. Dreams are not random. They are coded messages, the brain's way of processing what consciousness cannot. When you're awake, you collect data, faces, moments, words, stress, but your brain can't store it all. It needs to decide what stays, what goes, and what changes you. So it dreams. Dreams replay your day, but through emotion, not reason. That argument with your boss might return as a storm, a lost opportunity as a locked door, a hidden desire as flight. Every image, every sound, every impossible moment is your brain decoding the meaning of your life without you ever knowing. In laboratories across the world, scientists have begun mapping dreams. By reading electrical patterns and blood flow in the brain, they can now tell what kind of images a person is seeing, even while they sleep. Soon, dream decoding may become reality, your private worlds projected onto a screen. But this raises a haunting question. If your dreams can be seen, who owns them? You or your brain? Evolution doesn't waste energy. Dreaming costs as much power as being awake, so it must have a reason. One theory says dreams help us survive. They simulate threats, falling, drowning, running, so that when danger comes, you've already practiced escape. Another theory says they shape creativity. The periodic chaos of dreaming helps the brain make connections no logic could ever find. That's why artists, inventors, and scientists often wake with ideas that feel born from elsewhere. Because they were. They were born from the deep subconscious, from the architects that never rest. Sometimes, that border between dream and waking breaks. You open your eyes, but the dream hasn't ended. You see figures in the dark, hear whispers that aren't there, feel weight on your chest, the ancient terror known as sleep paralysis. It's the moment the brain forgets which world it's in. For a few seconds, you are trapped between two realities, both created by your mind. Dreams are not escape. They're reflection. They show you what you avoid, who you miss, and what you fear. Every night, your brain builds a mirror world and lets you walk inside it. When you wake, you forget the details, but something remains. A feeling, a knowing, a subtle shift. That's your brain's gift to you, a message in a language only it can write. You may never remember most of your dreams, but they remember you, because in every one, your brain leaves behind a trace, a note, a lesson, a fragment of what you'll become. When you dream tonight, know this: you are the architect, the actor, and the witness of a universe built just for you.